Hey folks, it's Trina here, executive and leadership coach for women who are in senior leadership positions who work for mission-driven organizations and companies, specifically women who are on the brink of burnout or who are dealing with depletion and exhausted and are looking for ways to lead and have impact in a way that's sustainable long term. So if that sounds like you are in the right place, and I'm so glad you're here. And today we're talking about creative rest and why creative rest creates freedom when you're feeling depleted and exhausted. So what is creative rest? Creative rest is really when you allow beauty into your life, when you allow the wonder and the awe of beauty in all its forms to come into your life. So have you ever had a moment, or many moments probably, when you're sitting in the park or maybe you're at the beach and you feel energized and exhausted? I know for me, the beach is one of my favorite places, but you feel better, you feel refreshed. And that's one of the things that creative energy and creative rest can do for you. Or maybe sometimes maybe it's a piece of music or a painting or something like that you see, and it just opens your eyes and your heart, and you just have that sense of wonder. Maybe it's the mountains that makes you feel that sense of awe. That is what creative rest is. Creative rest is really is also about your own creative energy and what you do with that creative energies. And that can be your own creativity or just tapping into it in other ways. So I know one of the things that often skews our understanding of creative energy and whether or not we use it is sometimes with social media. So I know, like, you can get this feeling that the only way you can be creative is if you're making money at it or if you're really good at something. And I think that, and because of that messaging that we've received over these past, 15 years or something like that, a lot of people feel like that you can't be creative. And so I want to encourage you to think about ways in which you can be creative in your life and things that you're not particularly even good at, just something that you enjoy. So I know for me, I love to paint. Now, I am not an artist by any means, and I have been painting and coloring and doing all that for years, and I haven't gotten any better. But sometimes I'll paint my dreams, sometimes I'll paint just abstract things, or I'll just, whatever it is. But for me, it's about being in the paint. I like the brushes, on the canvas. I like mixing the colors. I like doing all of that. There's just a sense of freedom and fun for me that I like to enjoy those things. And so it could be something different for you, and for me, what opened me particularly to painting was, I come from a very musical family. I love to sing. I've sang my whole life. I played the piano for a long time. And so, music is often a go-to for me, but it's also something that I'm good at. And so, often I love to just harmonize with friends randomly, or, just sing random songs. That's something that also feels like creative energy for me. But the painting is something that taps into something like I said, that I'm not very good at, but I just enjoy it just because. So if you find yourself depleted and exhausted and you want to tap into creative rest, this is a great way to do it. So maybe you do it in a place that you really enjoy. And if you can't get to the beach or someplace like that, maybe it's just, sitting in the park or looking at a beautiful picture with colors that remind you of the beach, something like that. Or, doing something that you've always enjoyed, regardless of how good at it you are or not. And sometimes when you're a leader, it can be hard. You almost have to remind yourself to have beginner's mind, is what it's often called, where you don't need to know how to do anything. You don't need to know all the steps. You don't need to know anything other than just showing up and playing in it and seeing how it makes you feel. So again, I want to stress the importance of this kind of rest in your life. So we've talked about many different kinds of rest, and this particular kind of rest, there's a freedom that will come, and you'd be surprised the peace that it brings you when you're able to tap into it. Okay, so that is all for today. I hope this was helpful for you. You know, get in there with your own creative energy and see what comes up for you, or you know, go someplace beautiful and someplace that inspires that awe and wonder inside of you, and see what happens next. So that is all for today. Take good care, and I'll talk to you soon.